TV23 KDGL. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV23 Studios in Sublet, this is High Plains Today.
Hi, everybody. You know what? It's Monday, December 7th, 2015. Welcome to High Plains Today on TV23. On today's show, my guest will be Mr. Jason McAfee. He is the Director of Human Resources and Public Relations at USD 480 in Liberal. They got a couple of big meetings coming up later this week that we're going to talk about. Well, let's take a look at some of the stuff that's happening out there. Well, the jury in the Foster Everett trial began deliberating shortly before 4 p.m. Wednesday. After about an hour and a half, the group decided to call it a day and start fresh on Thursday. Now, around 12:45 p.m. Thursday, announcements were made that the jury had come to a verdict. The jury went with the lesser charge included in their instructions, convicting Everett of second-degree murder of Andrea Garrison, who was found January 2nd in her home in the 600 block of North Clay in Liberal. Everett's sentencing has been set for 10 a.m. on January 4th in Seward County District Court. A man has died following a crash Thursday morning in southwest Kansas. Troopers were called around 7:30 a.m. to a rollover accident on K25 south of Ulysses in Grant County. Now, the Kansas Highway Patrol reports a 2006 Chevy Malibu was heading north when the driver drifted onto the shoulder. The driver then overcorrected and vaulted into a ditch where it overturned. The driver was identified as 40-year-old Cesar Landros of Ulysses. He died at the scene. There were no other people in the car. International bioenergy company Abengoa has shut down its Hugoton plant and laid off dozens of workers a little more than a year after a grand opening celebration. Now, according to a Wichita Eagle story in late November, Abengoa SA, the parent company of Abengoa Bioenergy, filed for creditor protection in Spain, prompting fears it might default on nearly $10 billion worth of debt. Now, in Kansas, Abengoa operates the Hugoton facility as well as an ethanol plant in Colwich. Abengoa received a $132.4 million loan guarantee and a $97 million grant through the Department of Energy to support construction of the Hugoton facility. The Kansas chapter of the Sierra Club is asking the Kansas Department of Health and Environment to reconsider a permit it granted to Seaboard Farms that would help pave the way for a second hog feeding complex in Greeley County. The KDHE issued a permit on November 10th allowing Seaboard Foods to build 9 lagoons to house waste from 120 swine barns, which would include a total of 132 head of hogs. Conservationists say the waste would be equivalent to the waste generated by a city of 1 million people. And staying with the Sierra Club, they and the U.S. Bureau of Land Management disagree on what should be done with 150 to 200 prairie dogs living at the site of the Satanta Crude Helium Maintenance Facility in Haskell County that the BLM operates. Now, the BLM has issued a record of decision to eradicate the prairie dog population at the facility. Elaine Geisel, chairwoman of the Wildlife and Endangered Species Committee for the Kansas chapter of the Sierra Club, believes the BLM did not consider all of its options before deciding to eradicate the prairie dogs. They did not consider trapping and removal, she said. Now, Kansas law does not say you can't trap these animals. And this last weekend in Liberal, the turnout was great. The kids got to go see Santa and get their pictures taken with him at the 47th Annual Folk Art Festival, sponsored by the Society for the Prevention of Bored Housewives and held at the Seward County Activity Center. Organizer Ada Lindenbroker says the turnout was great with 170 artists from 7 states.
Turnout has been good. We've had a good crowd all day. It's slowing down now because people are getting ready to go to the parade. That starts here in a little while. Of course, we're the last place you can sign up for the car that they draw out for after the parade. This is the 47th year of the Folk Art Festival. And we have 107 artists from 7 states are here. We have some from New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, and Colorado are the states that come. The one rule that we have for our show is everything has to be handmade by the artist, and we don't allow commercial stuff in. And that's why we keep having such a good attendance from other vendors, is because they like to come to shows like that. So.
And don't forget, tonight in Dodge City, the chili cook-off and parade of lights at Boot Hill. You can sample chili at 5:30, and the mayor will throw the switch and light the mayor's Christmas tree at 5:50, followed by the parade of lights at 6. So if you're not doing anything in Dodge City, you need to get down to the chili cook-off and the parade of lights. And that's a look at some of the happenings around. Stick around. I'm going to be back with a really not December forecast after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV23 with host Chris Jewell. TV23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
Hi, Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs weekdays at noon right here on TV23. We talk about news, we talk about sports, we talk about weather, we're even going to talk entertainment. We'll have live guests right here on set with me. So, every day at noon, tune in, High Plains Today. We'll see you then.
Weekdays here on TV23.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you. Wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans.
These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids.
Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
Yep, it is December. We got a few high clouds out there as we take a look at off to the northeast on the TV23 tower cam. Beautiful day out there. Let's take a look at the readings here at the station. 55 degrees. That's right, 55. Relative humidity 35. Winds are out of the north at 7. Barometric pressure is holding steady. Steady. As we look at the temperature around the region, look at that, 48 in Lamar, but they're going to be in 50 before we're probably done with the weather. 61 in Perryton, everybody else in the 50s. As we look at the dew points, everybody is in the 20s and 30s. That's why our humidity is so low. Look at these winds. Now, there was a slow-moving front that was coming through here. That's why you've got some winds out of the west, southwest here. Everybody else over here is out of the north. That front will be out of here, but winds way, way low. Looking at our highs and lows as recorded at the Garden City Regional Airport. Yesterday, 56 was the high. 73 back in 1981. 26 the overnight low. Oh, don't look at that. That's minus 13 back in 1972. Looking at our forecast today, we're calling for 60 degrees. I think it might get warmer than that. Winds are going to be out of the north at 11, and then tonight, going to cool off a little bit, 29. Winds out of the west-southwest at 7. And then tomorrow, 65. Winds are going to be out of the west-southwest at 11. Later tomorrow afternoon, going to go to the northwest at about 17, but that's still not going to be too bad. 65 degrees. Tomorrow night, 32. Winds are going to drop down to light and variable, and then after midnight, switch around to the west at about 6 degrees. Get ready. Here it comes as we look at the 7-day. 60, 65, 67, 63. Okay, we get down here to Saturday, it's going to be 47 degrees. The high this time of year averages 46, 20% chance of precipitation. So you can say that winter is kind of taking the week off until Saturday. That's a look at our weather. We'll be back with the markets and Mr. McAfee after this.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
And welcome back. Joining me right here live on the set, Mr. Jason McAfee. He is Director of Human Resources and Public Relations at USD 480 in Liberal, Kansas, America. Good to see you today, my friend.
Yep, thanks for having me.
How are you today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
For a
nice
Monday?
It's good for a Monday. Nice weather. So,
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yep.
This is not December.
No.
But that's okay, I'll take it. Hey, you guys now, last time you were up here, we were talking about some stuff, and you got... Now, with all your new buildings being built, you got 5 of them being built total. You got 3 of them being built as we speak.
Correct.
You got 2 middle schools and an elementary school going up.
That's right.
So you're going to get rid of some buildings, right?
That's correct.
So you've moved some. They aren't going to be in the same spots.
That's right. We're building 3 brand new elementary K-5 buildings, and then we have 2 existing 4th through 6th grade intermediate schools that we're going to transition into K-5 elementary buildings. So that's a big transition process. It's really probably a 2-year process just to transition students and staff for our district as far as planning and then organizing and then implementing. So it's a big deal. You're right.
I don't envy you one lick. Not one lick.
Yep.
Because the biggest thing you've got coming up now, not only do you have to decide, well, you don't, but the district, not only do you have to decide what color the carpet's going to be, what kind of chairs you're going to put in it, what color the building is going to be, you got to decide what kids are going where.
That's right. We've got to set some new boundaries with 5 new K-5 buildings. We're going from 7 down to 5 essentially. We can't use our existing boundaries, and so we have to go through the process of coming up with some new boundaries. And so what we have going on this week is we've had a committee actually. It's called the Boundary Committee, working with a company called RSP. They're Geographic Information Specialists, and they go all over the Midwest trying to help districts with boundary issues and determining where boundaries should be. And so this week we're having a public forum. We've got some proposed boundaries that we're going to take to the public, and on December 9th and December 10th from 6 to 8:30 at the depot, we're going to have some maps available. RSP is going to be there to kind of discuss the process, and we're there to get input. Nothing's been decided.
That's the important part, isn't it?
That's right.
Nothing has been decided. Nothing's in concrete yet, is it?
That's right. We want to hear.
Okay.
There's proposals. We want to hear what people have to say about those proposals. They're going to look at some maps. We want some feedback from the public. We've got a committee made up of some teachers, some classified staff members, some principals, and a lot of parents. Every school is K-8 school is represented in that committee. But that's just a snapshot of those people. We want to take it to the entire community and see what they have to say.
So you're going to redo the boundaries basically for the K-5 schools, correct?
That's right.
And are you going to do anything now that you're going from 6 to 8 at 6, 7, 8 at the middle schools? Any of those boundaries going to change?
That's right. That's correct. There'll be 2 maps. There'll be a K-5 map that will show the K-5 boundaries of our elementary school, or proposed K-5 boundaries of our elementary schools, and then there'll be another map that will show the proposed boundaries for our middle schools.
Okay.
So for our new middle schools.
All right. And that's going to be this Wednesday and Thursday, the 9th and 10th, 6:30. 6 o'clock to basically whenever you get done and everybody leaves.
That's right.
At the depot, right?
That's right.
You're not going to chase everybody out at 8:30.
We're not. I think we've said 8:30, but if people are still there with questions or comments, we'll definitely listen to them. So.
Okay. And your demographer, now RSP. Now, this company, this is how they make their living, right?
That's
they
right.
go around and tell people, okay, well, we see that a lot of people are moving from here to here. This is where your growth is, not so much here, blah, 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 and that type of stuff. And they can help you with setting the boundaries.
That's
right?
correct. They are a lot smarter than I am, and they do. It's really cool. They've shown us some data that they've used to come up with the proposals that they've come up with, where projected enrollment or projected growth should be. They can tell us, we're going to have this many kindergartners, or propose this many kindergartners are going to be there in 1920 school year. I mean,
isn't this the same company though that helped you with the bond issue as placement of the buildings too, right?
That's correct. Yeah, they helped us with enrollment projections back a couple of years ago when we were going through the election phase of the bond as well. And I think they even helped previously, I want to say back in 8 or 9 or something like that, 2008, 2009, with a previous bond issue. And they've been very accurate as far as their data goes. I know that I saw some numbers that they projected through like 2012, and they were 98.5% accurate.
I was going to say, I thought I'd read some stuff. They were, 2% is a big number for them if they miss it that far.
They don't like that. But,
no.
But, I mean,
these guys are very picky, aren't
pretty
they?
much
Picky.
right on, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so when you set out to do this, I mean, you have a committee. They have the boundary committee set up. But, I mean, did you guys get guidelines? I mean, how did the committee get started?
Yeah, that's a good question. The board wanted a committee, and then the board gave us some priorities, is what they did as far as setting the boundaries. For example, the one thing that big push when we passed the bond issue was to have neighborhood schools, and so that, of course, is a #1 priority, is to create neighborhood K-5 schools. Currently, and in the past, we've had these islands because we've had overcrowded schools. We've had what we call islands, or little pockets throughout the community that they might be close to one elementary school, but because that elementary school is full, we've sent those kids to a different school. And we've called those, or the demographers call those islands. And the idea is we want to get rid of those and have a complete neighborhood school where all kids from this neighborhood go to this one elementary school. That is one of the #1 priorities that our board has told us.
No more islands.
No more islands, that's correct.
That'll be, and I mean, that makes a lot of sense that you get some schools that are smaller. I mean, that's because why you had the bond issue is because you were already running out of room, and so this will create less traffic because you're not going to have to bus as many kids, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to bus as many. We shouldn't have to force transfer any, and that will help out in public relations. I mean, it just kids going to schools with their friends basically that live across the street from them instead of having somebody have to go across town because they enrolled late or something like that.
So you get a lot of neighborhood kids going to school with their peers then.
That's right. Correct.
So, okay, so remember, this is Wednesday and Thursday night at the Depot in Liberal from 6 to 8:30, or whenever you get done. You guys are going to have big boundary maps there.
That's right.
RSP, or RSP.
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 Yep.
Is going to be there. They're going to be answering questions. I'm assuming you're going to be there.
I'll be there.
A lot of the people from the committee will be there, the Board of Education, a lot of administrators. So if you have any questions, you guys will be able to answer.
That's right. We'll be available. That's the whole point of it, is to ask for the public to come ask questions or to provide comments, and we're there to listen and answer the questions. So.
And the important thing to remember going into this is nothing is decided as of yet.
That's right.
Right?
That's correct.
All right,
it's
Jason?
It's all getting feedback.
I don't envy you this at all, buddy.
Well,
but anyway, I know you guys can do it.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up today and sharing this with us.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
You bet. And stick around. I'll be back with some sports stuff after this.
Letting it show. I've been around.
Hi, I'm Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs at noon weekdays right here on TV23. Hey, do you think you have an idea for something that would make a great segment? Somebody that would make a great interview? What about a community event that needs highlighting? Let us know here at the station. Email us news@kdgltv.com. And welcome back. On Saturday, K-State came back in the second half against a stout West Virginia ground raid offense, overcoming a halftime deficit of 13-3. KSU quarterback Joe Huebner was injured in the third quarter, sparking the offense to step up. Now, they were led by Cody Cook. The second half of the game was flipped, and the Cats came back to lead 24-23 with 1 second left in regulation. Well, West Virginia had a last chance to win, but failed to score in that 1 second. K-State, meanwhile, they're going to go bowling. They'll be taking on Arkansas in the Liberty Bowl in Memphis on January 2nd. And the last regular season rankings were released before the College Football Playoff Selection Committee revealed the field for the national semifinals. Number 1, Clemson received 59 first-place votes. Alabama got 9, Michigan State 1, and the Spartans, who were number 2 early in the season, ended up beating Iowa 16-13 Saturday night in the Big Ten Championship. Oklahoma slipped 1 spot to number 4. Stanford moved up 2 spots to 5. And Iowa dropped all the way down to 6th from 4. So the selection committee on Sunday, the bracket was revealed with a little anxiety and none of the last year's acrimony. The matchups, number 1 Clemson against number 4 Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. Number 2 Alabama against number 3 Michigan State in the Cotton Bowl. The winners of those 2 semifinals meet January 11th in Glendale, Arizona for the national title. And that's kind of a look at sports. Let's take one last look at our weather. Hey, it's warmed up 1 whole degree since we did weather. 56 degrees, 33% the relative humidity. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 7. Barometric pressure is starting to fall. Let's take a look at that weekly 7-day as it comes popping up here just any second. There it is. All right, we're going to get up into the upper 60s by midweek. I'm thinking we're going to hit 70 before this is all said and done. We're going to get back to normal, though. On Saturday, there is a 20% chance of precipitation.
With the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGLTV.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Something I feel when I'm right here. Something that tells me that I'm This is the place. Everybody here knows it. This is the place. Oh, it's home to me and you. Yeah, this is the place.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.